Welcome everyone to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, and we're reading Danganronpa If. It takes place in the first game. But the thing is, we played the first game, so now I can actually do this. And before we start, let's get used to the characters. Makoto Naegi. He's a typical high school student with absolutely no remarkable talents or characteristics. He's randomly selected to attend Host Academy from a pool of other unremarkable students. Kiyotaka Shuhara, who was head of the Pablo's Morals Committee at his previous high school and no other college prep school. He's generally strict towards lazy people and anyone to make sure they're working hard. Yakuya Togami, a member of the family who controls the Togami Corporation, an international mega conglomerate. As the heir to the family business, was partially raised to prepare for his duties. Mondo Owada, at the point he led was the biggest biker gang in Japan. He's a classic rebel with a heart of gold, and also has his own strong sense of justice. He also has an undying of admiration for his older brother, Leon Kawada. Despite his refusal to practice, he has enough natural talent that pro baseball scouts have already started courting him. You know, he's kind of obnoxious, it's hard to hate him. Izumi Yamada. He has a certain charisma with the fanfiction industry. He's very proud of the following. He's cultivated at a local school festival. He sold over 10,000 copies of his latest creation, a setting achievement by any measure. Yasuhiro Hazature. He relies on his own intuition to form his predictions, resulting in an accuracy rate of about 30%. He's being held back a few times. Sayaka Manzono. She's the lead singer in a world-famous pop group. Though she's the darling of the generation, she's managed to maintain sweet down-to-earth nature. Kyoko Girigiri. She's the only student at the school whose ultimate talent is unknown. She carries an intense beauty, but her past and doubts are shrouded in mystery. Aoi Asahina. She's a natural-born athlete. Her main focus is swimming. But at her old school, she also competed in volleyball, track, and more. She has a smiling, enthusiastic nature that helps keep others in high spirits. Soko Fukawa. During her age, she's already a successful novelist. In actuality, she has a personality disorder that manifests itself as a serial killer personality known as genocide. Sakura Ogami. Her father taught her martial arts since she was a little girl, and now she's become the strongest human being on earth. Celestia Lunenberg. Her peculiar appearance will has a haughty temperance and a sharp tactic tongue. She mastered the seat, and her face is utterly inscrutable. She is Japanese, in case you were wondering. Junko Inoshima. She's a person model who has graced the covers of the most popular youth fashion magazines. However, her true identity is Chihiro Misaki. She's very quiet and has student talent when it comes to computers. Mikuro Ikusawa. She's a commerce specialist who has mastered handling various weapons. Ever since she was a child, she's had a special interest in mystery stories. I'm really impressed by that. We got all the characters that we did, so let's start. Trigger Happy Havoc. Danganronpa Trigger Happy If. The button help, and the tragic warriors of despair. No, I have to do his voice again. I hate my life. The world is full of this. If Adam had said that would be, the salary no one never had been boring. The world that everyone knows is just one note to the bone positive. I'm going to tell you the world is Here's the sweat suddenly so sticky now. The last view on this point is a scary world full of infantile stepfathers who abandoned their families. It's a battle who's for the inside and the outside are filled with uncertainty. But don't break it, okay? I mean, no expensive that there's no way you'll ever be able to pay me back. But no matter how you look at it, it's a simply world like any other. No matter how hypothetical the story may be, the future is anything that's truly foggy. And the past is more solid than a frozen banana. You can choose a conclusion because already happened. Even if you see a world that may have existed, no wonder about the people living in reality. Because if is only if after all. Even if the parallel world exists where a particular is lacks true happens, humans cannot cross the boundaries between our side easily. World that easily. No matter how far it goes, you always do what a scenario. Do you really want to see that? You got some sick interest. Don't you think that interest was cut on galleries like the tragedy of a game? As far as I'm concerned, I'm so unselfish. If you're gonna look at it, I you then, video games will trigger things out, but tricky heavy habits. Hopefully multiple times for your free phone, because I assume all these free plans too. Maybe if you collect all the items in the movie too. But if you come this far, sure, Harvey, then all that still a better give value you. Not a better, still got a bit of value. The curtain lowers. What we're about to read. What should I do about this? Makoto Naegi was at a loss. Despite his hesitation, his situation was extremely simple and composed of three key factors. First factor was that Makoto was currently locked in a school. Host Peak Academy is a school for the privileged elite, and each student attending possesses ultimate talents. Makoto was chosen to attend Host Peak Academy by a lottery held to select the ultimate lucky student. When he arrived for his first day of school, he ultimately lost consciousness, and when he woke up, he saw all the exits and windows had been sealed shut. Next factor was Monokuma, a mysterious robot bear being operated by the mastermind, and the announcement he made to all the students. You'll be living your life in this academy, he declared. You want to leave and kill someone and become the Blackened. This strange remote-controlled robot is telling Makoto and his fellow Ultimates to start killing each other in exchange for their freedom. They learned that more than one Monokuma exists, and that each one contained a bomb to prevent anyone from attacking them. On top of that, Monokuma announced that anyone who attempted to harm him would receive a punishment. The third and final factor was the red button that Makoto was currently holding in his hand. The words escape button were clearly written on this button in marker. And though the first two factors were certainly cause for panic, Makoto only seemed at loss over the third. During his free time, Makoto noticed that the school store was open and his curiosity got the better of him. He was overwhelmed by the disjointed atmosphere upon entering, but his attention soon focused on a strange vending machine. The words mono machine were written and seemed to accept the strange bear pattern coins they sometimes found inside the school. It seemed like a bad idea, but Makoto thought there might be a chance that this machine could dispense some way of escaping school. And so he inserted the only coin he had into the coin slot, and the result was the escape button I mentioned earlier. There's a limit to how much you can tease us. Maybe the mastermind who trapped us here is making a cruel joke. These thoughts filled Makoto's mind and he began to feel deeply discouraged, however. There's always a chance, right? Makoto was just an ordinary boy, and he only gained entry to Host Peak Academy through a lottery to find the ultimate lucky student. Maybe that luck was the real deal. If this button's real, maybe I can let Sayaka. Makoto took a deep breath and pressed the button. Instantly, pain brushed through his entire body. Ugh! Makoto's arms and legs went limp as he lost his balance and fell to the floor in a crumpled heap. As he breathed heavily, it dawned on him what had just happened. I got electrocuted? He looked down a button in his hand and noticed a small needle sticking out of it. Makoto quickly surmised that electric current must have been running through it. After gaining enough of his strength to stand back up, Makoto thought about it once again. I should have known. It was a fake. How sick and twisted was the mastermind? My head still feels a little woozy. I should go back to my room and rest today. With that in mind, Makoto walked out of the school store with slow, careful steps. But Makoto didn't know that yet. If the escape button really was a fake, it would have been an act of mercy from the mastermind. A small bear-shaped shadow began moving around inside the now empty school store. That shadow, Monokuma, stood before the mono machine and stared at it silently. After some time passed, he began to laugh. Cold, hollow laugh, utterly devoid of emotion. Woo! Woo! Despite the fact that he was alone, Monokuma began to talk almost as if he was speaking to someone. Perhaps Monokuma was talking directly to the mastermind, controlling them. Finally put that in the mono machine because I thought I'd be interested in what the last two survivors happened to win it. So was a success rate of 0.0000001%. I never thought anyone would actually win it. Perhaps I I should have expected the ultimate lucky to overcome such impossible odds. Monokuma started blushing and breathing heavily for no apparent reason. A robot like Monokuma doesn't need to breathe. But because his technology is super advanced, he can express himself like a living creature. Makoto was chosen through lottery, not he won the escape button through the lottery. This is obviously impossible, right? Is this what a miracle is? Does this all systems go towards escaping? Is something that defies all common sense about to come crashing into my world? Well, not that. I don't really want this. I'm starting to enjoy this new sensation. We'll be back after these commercials. Makoma's internal machinery began running at full capacity, and his facial expressions have been changing more smoothly than any humans could. Suddenly, his expressions immediately stopped as he whispered through his teeth. But is it really going to? What? An emergency obvious Monokuma's loud screeching laughter rang jarringly through the room. The situation though is about to unfold contained two conflicting emotions in equal measure. Hope and despair. Okay, let me get a sip. The next day, nighttime, student dormitory, Makoto's room. Makoto Naegi lay on his bed, desperately struggling with the despair and hope churning within him. Monokuma had forced the students to each watch a DVD earlier that day. Makoto showed a scene that suggested his parents and little sister were in danger, and he now found himself determined to leave the school. It seems the other students were forced to watch shocking videos of their own. Videos so shocking that they were now determined to escape the school too, even meant sacrificing someone to do it. However, it was obvious that these videos were part of Monokuma's trap. As long as a student killed somebody, they were allowed to graduate and leave the academy. It seemed that the mastermind controlling Monokuma was hell-bent on making the students kill each other. But right now, Makoto was most worried about Sayaka and Maizono. They seemed to be incredibly distressed about watching her TV. Sayaka wasn't just the ultimate pop sensation, she was also Makoto's classmate where they were students at Blackroot Junior High. Her optimism had been encouraging Makoto these past few days, and he was becoming a similar source of strength for her as well. If nothing else, I have to at least say Sayaka. As soon as Makoto thought that, he suddenly felt a small headache. Was he still reeling from being punched by Mondo the other day, or was this sad effect of being electrocuted by the escape button? As Makoto pondered these things, the pain suddenly subsided, and he returned to his determination and thoughts of escape. Anyway, we all need to work together and... At that moment, Makoto realized his goal has changed slightly. We all need to? Ideally, it would be best if everyone survived together. However, except for Sayaka, Makoto had not met the other students before. He didn't know if they could ever be trusted in the first place. But at the moment, he trusted them without even announcing suspicion. He believed they were worth helping, even at the cost of his own life. Just like Sayaka. Why? The headache struck again, as if all the blood vessels in his brain were being individually sliced open. Why did I just think that I could trust the others as much as I trust Sayaka? Makoto tried to figure why his thought process had suddenly changed. Something was wrong. The throbbing pain in his head seemed to synchronize with a strange feeling that something was approaching him. As a ray of light began to form within the dark recesses of his own mind, the doorbell rang. Someone's here? He quickly got out of bed, but that only made the headaches worse. With no concern for his safety, Makoto carelessly opened the door to his room and came face to face with Sayaka. I'm really sorry to come by so late. Sayaka? The pain. What are you doing out so late? The moment he saw her first, the pulsating pain in Makoto's head began accelerating. It felt like his world was being torn apart from the inside out. Sorry to bother you, but something really weird has happened. Makoto, what's wrong? You don't look so well. Sayaka was pale and had been trembling when she came to Makoto's room, but she seemed surprised to see that his complexion was worse than her own. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just my head. Mikado couldn't finish his sentence. His eyes rolled back into his head as he lost consciousness and slowly fell to the floor. His actor's beautiful voice let out a scream as she stood over Mikado's body. The next day, the nurse's office. Oh, you're awake! Hey, how many fingers am I holding up? As wrong voice. As Mikado regained consciousness, he was greeted by the sight of fingers adorned with long fake nails. Moving his face. Huh? Uh-huh. You're Junko, right? Hey, why do you sound so unsure? I'm a little shocked to hear you say that. Despite what she said, Junko Onishima, the ultimate fashionista, was laughing as she found this all very amusing. Mikado looked around and realized he's never seen this place before. Looked somewhat like a hospital. 3 beds, including his own, were lined up in the room with various medical instruments laid around them. The black ceiling felt strangely oppressive, but as he sat up, Mikado's mind immediately centered on one possibility. Where are we? Did we get rescued? That would be nice, huh? She replied she looked away. Junko explained that this was the nurse's office on the first floor of the academy. That Monokuma thing said it can't bear to be seen my precious students getting sick and opened this place up this morning. But don't you think it's suspicious? What if all these vents are poisoned? To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. I couldn't remember his encounter with the escape button, let out a small sigh. So why am I here, Junko? You should thank Sayaka for that. She was here the whole night taking care of you. She was? Junko ignored Mikoto's surprise and continued casually talking. Then Taka got all fired up and was like, we should take turns watching over him. I just happened to be on duty when you woke up. And even then, only because Miyagi a ditch. I see, thanks. Like I said, you should think that Sayaka. Anyway, how are you feeling? Is everything alright? Mikoto thought about it for a moment and remembered why he'd been thinking about just before he lost consciousness. This is kind of weird, but actually it's a weird question, but what's up? Junko, we've never met each other before, right? Upon hearing this, Junko's eyes widened and a few seconds later she began to laugh. Huh, are you for real? The pickup line is like so totally played out, you know? Even though she was grinning, a serious look came over her face. Just so you know, you shouldn't expect anything like from me. I know I look this way, but I take my virtue pretty seriously. Oh no, I mean, I never expected. Well, that's what I figured. It's obvious that you're a total Omega male anyway. Mikado and Junko continued to talk to one another. Although he wondered why Junko was talking to him instead of leaving to get the others, Mikado didn't question it. He just wanted to talk to someone, anyone. As long as he interacted with his fellow students, he believed he would learn the truth about what was going on inside his head. 10 minutes later, Junko mostly talked about alpha males and omega males, her time being homeless, and about her past and her dreams for the future. The last topic was a lot heavier than the previous ones. But Mikado's calm demeanor seemed to cheer up. She smiled extremely and said softly, Thanks, Mikado. Maybe it's a sign of gratitude for listening to her troubles. But she kept that same smile as she blurted out something horrifying. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. Don't say scary stuff like that. At least that's what Mikado thought, but the words that came out of his mouth expressed a different sentiment. I see, thanks. But I wouldn't want you to become the Blackhead in the first place. For some reason, Mikado felt like the murderous words that came out of Junko's mouth seemed like a natural thing for her to say. She seemed very surprised by Mikado's response and quickly blurted out, Huh? Are you serious? I was just kidding. Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry for acting so weird. No worries. Let's just chalk this up into you being wounded from your recovery. She returned to her usually bubbly self, letting out a big stretch and turned to Mikado. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna get going now. Make sure you don't get killed before the next person arrives. After seeing her off, Mikado laid back down in the bed and started thinking to himself. What is a strange feeling. His dull headache continues as thoughts begin to blur. I was just talking to Junko, but I feel like I was talking to someone else. What? Who is she? The more he thought, the more it felt like his memories were sinking into a thick swamp. Every throb of pain pulsating in his head felt like a wave at the surface on that swamp. What is this feeling? It felt very unpleasant, as though someone's head screaming at him from inside his head. Makoto tried to recognize his thoughts and go over everything that happened to him, but he was interrupted by the sound of a bell. And unlike the dorm rooms, the nurse's office didn't have a doorbell. The bell sound that Makoto heard was ringing throughout the entire building. Ahem. Testing. Night check 1, 2. This is a testing of the school broadcast system. It was Monokuma's voice. Now that Makoto has finally woken up, please assemble at the gym. Makoto listened to Monokuma's heartless order and got out of bed without complaining. I have to go. Thoughts settled in accordance with the rhythm of his throbbing headache. Slowly, he walked forward, and not knowing if he was heading was heaven or hell. Alright. The gym. Makoto! I don't know if he's talking. Makoto, are you alright? I'm Saika. Makoto, are you alright? Saika ran over to Makoto as soon as he entered the gym. Yeah, thanks. Sorry about yesterday. I guess I really worried you. I apologize. I'm sorry too. I burst into your room when you weren't feeling well. Now that you mention it, said Makoto, what happened yesterday? Saika looked away for a brief second, but immediately turned back, smiling her pop sensation smile and shook her head. Something. I'll tell you some other time. Huh? While they were talking, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, the ultimate moral compass, stepped forward, pointing an accusatory finger at Makoto. You're late, Makoto. Explain why you were tardy. The others just flexibly raised their eyebrows as they were thinking, why is this guy yelling at somebody who was sick? However, Makoto just smiled gently and answered him honestly. I didn't feel well, so I was resting in a nurse's office. Can you note that in the daily logbook? I see, that's consistent with my information. If that's the case, then I should consider this matter settled. The conversations progressed smoothly and Taka smiled as he kept talking. I'll take full responsibility for recording it. You just focus on recording. Recovering. If you ever feel ill, please report to the health committee. It seems we need to appoint health committee members after this meeting, though. Taka walked away mumbling to himself as he opened a daily logbook he found in the academy supply room. Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler, saw the whole conversation and walked up to Makoto. Despite his unreasonable behavior, he knew exactly what to say to him. Huh? As soon as Celeste said that, it dawned on Makoto. It's true that he didn't feel well and thought he had been resting in the nurse's office. When Taka asked him why he was late, even though he should have known the reason, Makoto didn't feel known or disappointed at all. It was he expected Taka to say that. Makoto felt strange that he had accepted Taka's personality's equivalent. He couldn't understand why he asked Taka to do something as unnecessary as recording it in the daily logbook in the first place. Why did I say that? It's like I was used to it. The response to Taka's demands came as naturally to him as breathing. Why? Every time he tried to think about it, his headache grew even worse. As Makoto struggled to think through the pain of his headache, a black and white bear stuffed animal. One second. Okay, that's so weird. Black and white stuffed animal jumped from behind the stand funny and smiling around as it spoke in a cheerful voice. Hey guys, around here! It sounded like it was about to lead the students on a field trip, but not a single one of them had a smile on their faces. What's it this time? Are we gonna hijack a cruise ship and run to the Atlantic worm? Of course, there's one exception. Yasuhiro Hakukure, the ultimate clairvoyant, still believed that the current situation was some kind of planned event. While Cupid is ignoring and continued to attract the students with his adorable voice. What did I tell you about our wonderful academy? Enemy system sure sounds like a great word, don't you think? It reeks of danger, just like a bird. I want you all to trip over the death of your friends, a girl that has hardened hearts. It's gonna be a little naughty. I want you all to grow poisonous personalities. After making his nonsensical introduction, Monokuma moves on to the next stop. He'd been providing detailed explanation of the most vile system in the school. The class tried. No, you can just kill anyone. Someone. You gotta kill someone without anyone to find what you're doing. Monokuma talks about his horrible graduation program of casual indifference. But because the killing hasn't happened yet, his lecture didn't instill any despair in the students. As long as the killing never occurred, there would be no point to the class trial. But no one could really say that a killing wasn't going to happen. As the students' suspicion began to rise, Monokuma continued explaining the class trial until... Wait, hold on. As Monokuma began to explain the executions that would serve as punishment, one girl stepped forward. Junko? Wait, hold on a second. As soon as he saw how angry she was, the rhythm of Makoto's headache began to change slightly. You're freaking insane, you know that? The girl continued to explain angrily. She seemed completely different from the smiling person Makoto saw in the nurse's office. Huh? Was Junko always like that? No, she's different. That's how Junko acts, but... Is that person really Junko? Wait, what am I thinking? It's Makoto struggled with his headache and confusion, but Monokuma and the girl continued arguing. What? Are you saying you're not going to participate in the trial? Only punishments await such blasphemy! What punishment am I out? I don't know, throw you in a dark, scary prison or something? Different. There's plenty of bullets out right there, Monokuma. A prison? No, they are that kind. And drinking time. A series of images flashed in Makoto's mind as he thought it was some kind of parade, but he quickly realized that was a mistake. What looked like lights were actually buildings engulfed in flames. The red decorating the scene seems to have come from human bodies. Despair. It wasn't confined to the Academy or to Japan. Images of worldwide death and destruction floated in Makoto's brain with every throb of his headache. I've seen this before. Besides the indescribable violence taking place in all these images, there was one thing they had in common. Who are they? They're Rin's-painted tourists wearing black and white masks, wreaking havoc in these images. They took everything: money, valuables, lives, families, dignity, the past, the future, and possibly even hope. The masks these terrorists were wearing perfectly resembled the face of the stuffed animal arguing at the center before him. Shut the hell up! Say whatever you want. I'm not going to be a part of this. Don't be selfish. I don't want to be selfish. You don't want to be selfish. Kill whatever you want. It's got nothing to do with me. The evil standing here before me. I'm trembling with fear. I won't give in to such evil. It's my style. So stick it out and resist till the very end. If you really want to get out of here, you have to get through me first. Monokuma swung his arms wildly as he charged at the girl with waddling steps. But the girl stomped on the self-proclaimed headmaster of the Academy of Bees. Are you enjoying yourself now? Pinned beneath the girl's foot, Monokuma looked up in the girl's full eyes and calmly asked, Are you? Huh? Violence against Headmaster Monokuma is not allowed. You violated the school regulation. At the moment, a chill ran down Makoto's spine. She's gonna get killed. Monokuma's words sounded very threatening now. It wasn't a prediction or a guess. It was as if he knew the danger Monokuma posed from the start. If this continues, Junko's going to... His mind still didn't fully grasp the situation unfolding in front of him. By the time he realized he was about to remember something, he was already running forward. Junko. The impact of his feet combined with the rhythm of his headache sending his brain and heart into a panic. No, she's different. She's... I invoke the mighty summon spell! Help to me! Godly spirit, come here! Monokuma wriggled beneath the girl's foot and let out a scream. At the exact moment, Makoto charged at her and screamed out. Oh! I wasn't expecting this. I was not. Look around. Watch out! Huh? The girl turned to Juko and Ashima, widening her eyes in shock. As she was ready to charge Makoto, she jumped back with agility unheard of it in a teenage high school girl. And then, right at the moment, countless students pierced the spot where she'd been standing just a split second ago. All the students, including girls, stared wide-eyed at the sudden turn of events. Spears, too many of them to count, shot out with lightning speed from mechanism and saw them before well to the gym. However, Makoto was unable to notice this. Huh? Why did I call Junko Mukura? Mukura? As the thought entered his mind, sharp, sudden impale struck his side. Well, by his instinctively pain, it ran out his spine throughout his entire body. The spear stabbed his side, instantly tore his flesh to shreds, and shot out his back, coating his blood and other bodily fluids. The black flags that engulfed Makoto's mind were consumed by death itself. As his consciousness suddenly faded, he remembered everything. Plus the electric jolt and the chemical compound from the escape button because of the button that he found by chance. Makoto Naegi managed to escape. He escaped this helpless game where he and his fellow students had their memories stolen and were forced to kill each other. Of course, that escape is also what led him to his current life or death predicament. In the end, perhaps he only escaped from one despair to fall to another. At the same time, his actions and unintended consequences for one person were living a false identity as their beloved little sister, Junko Inashima. Rikuro Ikutsaba, the ultimate soldier and a member of Ultimate Despair. Her past, her future, perhaps even her hope itself are on the path to despair. And so, the curtain falls on Makoto's story for now. From this point, the story is about a certain girl who's more pitiful than anyone else in the sealed-off academy. A new current, along with a new despair, shall now rise. Huh? Time certainly stopped from Mukuro Ikutsaba. Oh, now Mukuro! Yay! It was as everything around her is frozen perfectly still. In the past, she was known as the ultimate soldier. She had experienced the feeling before during her time with the mercenary group Fenrir. Situations where she was surrounded by a hopeless number of enemies within the jungle, or in a desert ruin. Charging enemies seemed as though they were frozen in time, which allowed her to claim a decisive victory in all her battles. But this wasn't a battlefield, so why did this familiar sensation activate once again? In order to understand what happened, Rikuro slowly tried to assess the current situation from within this frozen world. Junko and Mukuro are both children of despair, but Junko and Ashima, the ultimate despair, harbors a far deeper darkness within her. Though their last names are different, Mukuro is Junko's older sister, connected by the bond of blood. She cooperated with Junko's hopeless plan and impersonated her under the pretense of participating in the killing game alongside her classmates. According to the plan, Mukuro was supposed to pose Monokuma, who her sister was controlling, and be locked in a dungeon as punishment. Isolated from the others, she would then escape the dungeon before various acts intended to deprive the students of hope. That was the role she'd been assigned. When Makoto succumbed to his headache, Junko ordered her to see if the shock caused him to remember anything that would make him a liability. He woke up as she was tending to him, so she made small talk with him, but she didn't notice any change in his behavior, until the point she was certain that there shouldn't be any problem. Nothing could possibly go wrong. She stomped the Monokuma like her sister ordered her to do and slowly spoke lines she was taught to memorize. Afterwards, she would fall through a trapdoor into the dungeon and remain isolated from the other students. That was her role. She hasn't done anything wrong. There was no problems. There was no problems. She repeated that to herself over and over like a silent prayer. But in that moment in time, what she saw was not a trap door, but countless spears. One of them speared Makoto through his side. Why? Makoto? Why are there spears? Gunnier? I would have died if I hadn't moved. Did Junko mess up the plan? No, Junko would never mess up. Was she trying to kill me? Me? Makoto saved me? Why? Why did he say my name? Did his memories come back? Did I not realize that? Did I make a mistake? Is that why Junko got angry? Is this punishment? Is it my fault? Junko tried to kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Slowly time came back to her world. Murkuro could feel her face turn pale as she suddenly looked toward Makoto. Then screams rang throughout the gym. Sadako was probably the first one to scream. But who screamed first didn't matter to Murkuro. Makoto. Why? Makoto was the ultimate lucky student. He had been her classmate for the past 2 years. Now he was a sacrifice to despair. Not long ago, he had given her an answer of sorts during their conversation in nurse's office. She was just a pawn in the plan her sister had devised. But now feelings out began forming in Mukuro's mind. What did I want from Makoto? As her heart turned restlessly, she continued to think. In return, I promise that if I decide to kill someone, it won't be you. Was I impersonating Jungon then? Or did I really mean that? When did I start feeling this dabble? Just in the moment that saved me. Or when we spoke in the nurse's office earlier? When I first confronted him about this killing game before his memories returned? Or was it before even that? Murkuro stood there, confused and overwhelmed as Makoto slowly opened his eyes, his spear cell impaling him through the side. Makoto, are you okay? Mukuro is no longer impersonating the ultimate fascination. Looking up from the floor of the gym, Makoto asked, Why are you dressed up like Junko? He was smiling. Maybe he wouldn't feel the pain anymore, or maybe he was being affected by something else. But regardless, Makoto ignored the fact that he was dying just to give Mukuro his warm smile. I'm glad you're safe, Mukuro. As soon as he heard Makoto's weak, feeling voice, something inside Mukuro snapped. From within the shell of despair she was built up. Tense emotion began flooding out. No, this is all wrong. She couldn't hold back that emotion any longer. No. And for the first time in her entire life, Mukuro unleashed a scream into the world. As Mukuro fell to her knees and touched her head, a small shadow started walking toward her back. The stuffed animal that been under her foot, Monokuma. His claws were extended, he's no longer walking with his usual walk. Instead, moved like a beast, silently stalking its prey, and slowly advanced within its target's blind spot. As he began closer to Mukuro, Monokuma raised his razor-sharp claws crouched on his haunches, suddenly up toward the back of her neck. However, just before the claws could reach the paralyzed Mukuro, a dark shadow moved in from the side and swatted the claws away from one blow. His lunge deflected, Monokuma sent flying through the air, spinning wildly before crashing into the wall. I'm a fan of the Danganronpa 2 music. Damn you. What are you trying to do? Oh, a Sakura! Damn you. What are you trying to do? Sakura Ogami, ultimate martial artist, had just prevented another tragedy. He stood before Monokuma and directed him in a loud, booming voice. Not only did you attempt to kill Junko for violating school regulations, you even attacked Makoto, who had nothing to do with it. If you plan to act in such a savage manner, there's no reason for us to play along with your game. Yakuya Sugami, the ultimate fluent progeny, smirked condescending at Sakura. One could say you now violated school regulations with your senseless actions. He looked as if he honestly did not care if his fellow students lived or died at all. Well, seemingly defected the headmaster's test, so I do not think it truly counts as an act of violence. Well, seemingly defected the headmaster's attack just now, so I do not think it truly counts as an act of violence. Like Byakuya, Celeste's theme on faith that she tied him over his words. However, the banter between the two were enough to stir the students to action. Makoto! Makoto! Saika was the first one to run towards Makoto, who lay bleeding from his stomach. But Monokuma stopped her, shouting in a tone of voice that seemed completely out of character. Be careful! Don't get too close to those two! Huh? Startled by Monokuma's desperate tone, Sayaka and the others stopped moving almost instinctively. Students looked around at each other. Instead of his usually playful guilt, Monokuma walked towards them with deliberate, methodical steps. And then, he suddenly blurted out something that took everyone, including Mukuro Kisaba, by surprise. I'm sure you're probably confused by this sudden turn of events, but I want you guys to work together. As Mukuro suddenly turned her head towards Monokuma, he pointed at her and yelled, Mukuro Ikasaba and her accomplice. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Wow, Monokuma! Wow! Mukuro Ikasaba and her accomplice Makoto Naegi are the terrorists responsible for locking you all inside the academy. Once again, time stopped for Mukuro. But all this time, she wasn't the only one affected. Everyone seemed to be frozen in shock. After a few seconds of silence, Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro, spoke first. Huh? You're kidding, right? I mean, Makoto is a terrorist? That's impossible! And who's Mukuro anyway? I mean, that's Junko! Monokuma began slowly explaining Aoi. The real Junko must be impersonating someone in the school! The real Junko must be impersonated somewhere in the school. Worst case scenario, she might be killed. Mukuro must research well one of you would be easiest for her to impersonate. And then among you all might pretend to be her. She's probably trying to make sure the killing game went smoothly. Suddenly, Monokuma's hands and feet began jerking in awkward motion as he looked at the other students and introduced himself. I'm Bishinikai Miturai, the ultimate hacker. I'm your upperclassman. I hacked the academy from the outside, so I was finally able to take control of Monokuma's body just a little while ago. Take control? From who? From the head of the terrorist organization that's controlling this robot from the outside. What? What are you saying, Junko? Mukuro trembled as she heard the words coming out of Monokuma's mouth. For a brief moment, she clung to the hope that her sister wasn't trying to kill her, but as soon as that hope was born, it was immediately consumed by despair. Junko had the power to transform hope into despair. She would never let anyone hack her that easily. There was only one explanation. Junko Onishima was pretending to be someone named Bashiki in order for Makoto and Mukuro. It was as though Junko was using Mukuro's survival as a branching path to lead the students to a different despair. Monokuma continued talking, telling the students more lies, designed to pull them into action. At your first day at Hope Big Academy, you guys were supposed to sleep and just knocked unconscious until taken hostage. Mukuro and Makoto are probably the only operators that the terrorists inside school. That means you probably know how to escape from here. And that Monokuma turned to face Mukuro, and then Monokuma turned to face Mukuro. Mukuro Ikasaba was a member of the mercenary group Fenrir. She's a wanted criminal who's wanted over 10 people. She's killed over 10 people associated with the school. So don't get soft and think you can capture her alive. In fact, that's exactly what the cops told me. So the mother saw an opening and tried hacking and cracked them for the killer. But what about Makoto? What about Makoto? Monokuma gave full of emotionless answer to Sayaka's question. My guess is that a measly little ultimate lucky student did stand a chance to find a group like Fenrir. Was probably threatened and forced to cooperate before he entered the school, or judging from his early actions, maybe Mukuro seduced him. Sayaka's face went pale when she heard that answer, and she nearly stopped talking. Mukuro raised her head and shouted, "You're wrong, but Koto isn't a terrorist. You all have to believe me." The whole gym fell silent, and then, as if he was speaking for everyone there, Taka stood forward and nervously asked, Hold on, what do you mean Makoto isn't a terrorist? Someone's saying there's no doubt that you, in fact, are a terrorist. I asked that you correct yourself at once and say, we are not terrorists. Celeste began expressing her doubts, and swelled. It is strange, dear. Doesn't that seem odd that she's so protected of someone we all just met a few days ago? Makoto stood inside. The other student's face began to fill with suspicion and doubt as they realized they weren't looking at the real Junko and Ashima. Byakuya pushed his glasses and began slowly pointing out what seemed out of place to him. I heard that fool Makoto, or whatever his name is, called you Bukuro instead of Junko. How would Makoto know that your name is really Bukuro if he just met you not that long ago? That... I also heard of Fenrir, continued Byakuya. As I recall, his members have a tattoo somewhere on their body. Instinctively, Byakuya's words put Murkuro into a calm state of mind. In hostile situations, her defensive reflex as the ultimate soldier often manifests themselves. Mukuro's tattoo was on the back of her right hand. She wondered how she would hide this from the other students without also calling attention to it. But in the end, this concern was in vain. If the police records are true, she should have had a tattoo in the back of her right hand. As Mukuro really divulged that information. Alright guys, we're gonna stop reading right here. It's a long episode, and a lot of things happen. And I hope I get to see you all next time. Bye!